What up, Bulls Nation? We've got CHGO Bulls post-game coming up live right around the corner. The Bulls take down the Cavs again.
2 times.
Take that, Cavs. 119-112 is the final. Josh Giddey, Dosunmu, Trey Jones, even Javon Carter. Billy Donovan was loving this one as all the Bulls guards showed out. We'll break it down next. Even Yuki.
Yuki Mania.
Yuki. Delayed from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That is Big Dave. Bam, bam, BWL Sports. King of the controls, Steven, working hard all day, all night.
More like the Prince.
Goat will join us later on tonight's show from the UC to help us break down this one. And Devin in the comments just asked, is this Studio C? This is actually what we're calling Studio West.
Yes.
We're on the west side.
Welcome into Studio West,
here.
baby. And you know what else we're calling it right now? Hit it, Steven. Bulls win. Smack him in the face. Bulls win. Do it for French Bulls fan. Bulls win. And do one for yourself, sir. Bulls win. Bulls win.
Victoire the Bulls. I see you, Clem. I see you. Victoire the Bulls.
Let's go.
That's right. Shout out to our CHGO Blackhawks crew. They just finished up their post game. They lost a tough one in OT.
Yeah.
We got CHGO Cubs watch along going along live in Studio A right now.
It's hot in there, baby.
Cubs trying to hang on to win game 4, force a game 5 against the Brewers, and we are out here Studio West breaking down another Bulls preseason win over the Cavs, Big Dave. So Vooch, night off, parentheses old. Kevin Huerter, night off, parentheses, minor injury, nothing to be concerned about.
Velvety.
So we got Zach Collins in that starting lineup. We got Trey Jones added to that starting lineup. Billy Donovan loves him some Trey Jones.
He's a fan.
Loves him some Trey Jones.
He would like to take him out for a meal of food.
Honestly, depending on how this season goes, we could be 1 year into that Trey Jones deal, looking at it like, wow.
Yeah.
Solid value.
Yeah, man.
But a lot of the guards produced tonight, and we'll talk through all of them.
Yeah.
But because he got put into that starting lineup, and we've been talking a lot through the offseason once the final 15 roster basically, became set in stone.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that fifth guy?
Yeah.
Isaac Okoro, who they just acquired in the trade. Kevin Huerter, who looked really strong for Billy and started off and down the stretch when the Bulls were winning a lot of March and April games last season.
Yes, sir.
Every once in a while, one of us would say, wild card chance. Trey Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shot.
Other than Josh Giddey, he is the only other human they gave money to this summer.
It's true.
And with no Huerter,
it's true.
They said, get in there, Trey Jones.
Yeah.
And he played well.
And he got in there and did his thing, man. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and a big 4 steals.
Woo.
That is the one aspect of his game I truly, 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 truly do love is the steals. Because they're not fall ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I found a basketball. No, he attacks, man. And if he gets you on that baseline, what I've noticed is when he gets you on that baseline and you're confused about what you want to do and you're not strong with the basketball, he's taking it from you. It belongs to him now. It's his world. I like the little guards who understand the advantage that they have when they're little guards. They got an advantage when they're 6'1" and shorter. Shout out to Yuki. They got an advantage, and he uses his by you bring that ball down low, it's mine. I'm taking it from you every single time. You underestimate me and think you can just blow by. I'm going to swat that from you right there, and I will go the other way as well. So his IQ on the defensive end matches the IQ that we watch on the offensive end because I think him and Giddey together is such a good thing because he takes the ball out of Giddey's hands. And Giddey isn't forced to create because we saw the struggles he had creating out here today, man. So, yeah, I like what we saw from Trey Jones, and we'll look and see if we see more, man.
A lot of love for Trey Jones in the chat. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us. Viper Strike Zero saying, I'm a fan of Trey Jones. Connor saying, Trey Jones is my spirit animal. Ben Him 922 saying Trey is the ideal Billy point guard.
Yes,
LOL.
he is.
And you mentioned the steals, Dave, especially when we've been hearing so much and talking ourselves so much, especially towards the back end of the offseason, after hearing AK talk at Summer League about the Okoro trade, about trying to build that defensive identity, because they felt like last season was a good big first step in totally flipping their offensive identity.
Yeah.
But hey, defensively, some work needs to be done.
Yeah.
I think by and large, through 2 preseason games, the team defense as a whole has not looked good, especially in the minutes that matter, right?
Yeah.
So if you are showing Billy that you can make things happen on the defensive end, it's only going to ingratiate you more when he's got a bevy of guards to choose from. Who's getting more minutes? Who's getting closing minutes? Like late and tight games. And yes, it was a tight game. It's preseason.
Yeah, sure.
But where can I get some defensive help? Where can I find a guy who's going to make some defensive plays, especially a guy who can be a two-way guy? We talk about Io that way. We talked past tense now about Lonzo Ball that way.
We did.
Who can be a two-way player on this team?
Yeah.
If Trey Jones can turn out to be one of them, then we're going to see a lot of Trey Jones on the floor.
Yeah, and also shout out to Ingratiate and Bevy.
There you go.
That man's vocabulary is pretty awesome. Like, Trey Jones will make life better and simpler and easier. Y'all know I love to use the word that I made up called point guardsmanship. And Trey Jones' point guardsmanship is awesome. Like, just watch the tape of the game. I'm gonna definitely, because I'm a sicko, I'm gonna go and watch this again later. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I'm gonna look at this game again, but I'll be watching specifically Trey Jones to make sure what I thought I saw I did see, and what I saw was things slow down for the better when Trey Jones has the ball in his hands. There was a play where you just saw the ball touching everybody. You know, the ball has energy, man. Ball, creates that kind of rhythm. And it touched every player. And when it got to Trey Jones in the middle, you knew the ball was going to a cutting Modest Vucevic. But Modest Vucevic wasn't there at the point where he was supposed to pass the ball yet. So what did Trey Jones do? He took an extra dribble and allowed Modest to have a little more time to get to that spot, and then hit him with the no-look, and then the slam-a-dam-a-ding-dong is what you saw. So it was awesome, and that little kind of stuff is winning basketball. Those are the things that the Bulls are missing, as you mentioned, with a guy like Lonzo Ball. You have to have a high IQ out there on the floor. Everybody is going to move and get to where they know they need to be when you have a point guard who's running it and knows exactly where everyone needs to be on the floor. So I'm proud of what we saw from Trey Jones coming in off the bench. He looks comfortable. He's talked about how comfortable he is being here, how much he wants to be here. And it shows in his game on and off the floor how much he enjoys playing with the Chicago Bulls.
Our guy, French Bulls fan in the chat, saying, gotta love Trey's IQ and his tenacious D.
It's the peak of destiny.
Dave, I don't know if you knew this, but she who is choosy must be loosey-goosey. And he who is groovy will be in my movie.
You did? Well, man, it sounds like the best song in the world.
I know what I'm watching when I go to bed.
It's the best song in the world.
It's not rewatching this Bulls preseason game immediately. Because let's be honest, once we got past halftime, a lot of that game was blah.
Yeah.
But
go Cubs.
This is preseason basketball. We're here to figure out who looks good, who needs work, what lineups work.
Yeah.
So,
did it in 23 minutes.
And I think I saw somebody tweet out, and I apologize, I can't remember who, somebody who I follow on Bulls Twitter, with the starting lineup, like Vooch sat, Kobe still sitting. And by the way, I think Billy mentioned in his pregame media availability, the hope is that they'll see Kobe get some action at least in their final preseason game.
He said that.
So there is that. But in a world where some teams come calling for Kobe and for Vooch, you could be looking at Trey Jones and Zach Collins. This team's members of their starting lineup down the stretch. Do I think that's likely to happen? No. I think Kobe's staying and got to get paid next summer. And I think Vooch is staying because, he's still here.
Yeah, he's here.
And he will always still be here.
Grandpa's still around, baby.
But so a slightly different lineup for the Bulls tonight out of the gate against the same starting five for the Cavs.
Yeah.
The turnover problems were still an issue.
Yes.
Still. I mean, they only had 7 first quarter turnovers compared to 9 on Tuesday. But Billy has been harping on that. There's been a lot of talk about physicality, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And protecting the basketball, winning the possession battle, doing a better job in that department than they did last season. And I think you know, they had 26 turnovers as a team on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
They did cut into that number tonight.
They did.
But they still finished with 19.
Yeah.
And a lot of that out of the gate.
Out of the gate.
I mean, what did you see differently or the same when it came to the Bulls struggling, whether it be in transition or in half court, trying to get their offense going early in this one?
It's easy to point out what you saw that was the same. That first quarter was kind of a mirror image of what that last game was. Guys just weren't on the same page. Turned the ball over 7 times in that first quarter, 9 times in the last game. We saw Josh Giddey trying to force his way to the bucket a lot, and it did not go well. I think he ended up with 3 turnovers. I thought he had 6.
3 turnovers.
But
for those of you listening on the pod, I just put some big old air quotes around 3.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look watching him try to force it, and it wasn't until Ayo came in the game, as it was last game. And when Ayo came in and he was playing with Trey Jones, everything, you got your stew going after that. And then Giddey came back in, and I think Giddey played better after he hit that half-court shot. But again, we'll get into Giddey a little later. But as far as your question, it just looked like the same thing that we saw in game 1. Starters started off bad, bench comes in, rights the ship, and then everybody, kind of gets on the same page, and then they get moving that way. I mean, if you're looking at the starters, like you had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in double figures. Ayo Dosunmu had 16 points. Isaac Okoro, he filled the stat sheet with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's kind of what I'm expecting from Isaac Okoro, is something like that. Maybe like 8 points or something, but, nothing that's setting the world on fire, but something that can help you win. Yeah, man, like it just kind of looked like the same thing we saw, but they got to fix it quicker because Billy wasn't waiting around for it. He was like, no. Giddey, come sit with me for a second. Let's get Ayo in there. Let's right the ship. Okay, here you go. Get back in the game, Giddey, and then let's move like that.
He did take Giddey out. Was he the first starter to have a seat in the first quarter?
My thought process, I think he was.
They weren't even at the 8-minute mark yet.
Yeah.
And Giddey took a seat.
Yeah, he took a seat, bro.
Which you don't love to see, especially because Billy said before the game, we expect to see Giddey on the floor more tonight.
He did.
Did not start the second half of Tuesday night's game. Again, just being overly cautious because he had a very minor ankle tweak early on last week in their training camp practices. Giddey did end up playing 22 minutes tonight. When you look at the other starters, Trey 24, Okoro 25, Mod is just 19, Billy what the hell, and Zach Collins 23. So similar minutes to starters. Not concerned about that, but again, just another rough start. And I think it was Viper Snake just a second ago in the chat saying, or Viper Strike, sorry. I know turnovers are going to be a problem, but not every game is going to be against the Cavs and the Thunder, hopefully. Well, not just hopefully. For certain. We know the Bulls' whole 82-game schedule, and it is not solely against the Cavs and Thunder. What a fun time that would be. Although, you know what, news. Dave? Silver lining, if that were the case, 14% lottery odds, baby. Guaranteed. But, look, the Cavs are just a very bad and difficult matchup for the Bulls.
They tough,
They are very similar rosters, theirs and ours, again, this year to last year. The Cavs were the only team in the East the Bulls failed to beat at any point last season.
Yeah, it's true. It's a problem. And I see some guys in the chat. Thank y'all for joining us. I see my man Connor saying he's not too concerned with the turnovers just because of how good the Cavs are defensively. For me, I'm not like that. I'm always concerned when you turn the ball over in that way because I'm watching Donovan Mitchell get steals. You know what I mean? Like, that's no length or size. That was just effort that I saw. And I saw lazy passes from this team. So that stuff is concerning for me because they shouldn't be doing it like that. Like, when I'm watching Giddey and I'm watching Zach Collins, kind of lazy bounce passes and lazy handoffs and guys not moving hard and not rotating hard, off of picks, and the pass gets broken up and they're not diving on the floor, trying to get it. Like, that bothers me, and I want to see that in game 1 of a preseason, in game 1 of the 82-game season, like in game 1 of the Emirates Cup. Like, I want to see effort like that all the time. So until I see it, I'm going to be a little concerned about it because for me, it's just way too many turnovers. I wouldn't be concerned if it was coming from the bench. If it's the bench and your guys who are playing, I can be like, okay, that's Essengay. Okay, guys need to mesh. But when it's coming from your starters and you're starting 5 and guys like that, and it's coming from your guard, you know what I mean, who you're building everything around, it's concerning for me. So hopefully they can shore that up.
A little bit concerning. Steve, should we knock out our first ad break right there? When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk to the GOAT.
Goes here?
From a distance down the street. Oh, I'm so ready for that cue. Hit the like button, Bulls Nation, while you listen to these words from our friends and sponsors. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. Today's show brought to you by Circa Sportsbook. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service featuring real human beings and not the stupid, good-for-nothing, useless AI jackpots. We will fight them as humans, and we will win. And Circa will help us. Bet on all your favorite teams every game this season. We got hoops going. We got hockey. We got football. We got playoff baseball. We got everything.
Got it all.
Bet on all of it. Fun to bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Spreads, prop, futures, even in-game betting. Circa Sports has it for you. What are you waiting for? Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at something special. You are looking at the last RC Cola in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. It is frosty cold and it's ready to go, and it is going to punch me in the thirst when I crack that bad boy open. Pow, pow, slap, happiness. Because that's what you get with RC Cola, y'all, is the original cola that does not, I repeat, it does not fold under pressure. It's an OG cola in the world of spineless soft drinks. Get out my fridge! Spineless soft drinks. You don't belong here. No trends, no gimmicks, no woozies. And for the love of Steven, no wazzies at all. No. RC has changed its stripes never. Since 1905 is how long they've been around. They didn't need to change nothing. It's the same bold, crisp flavor it's always been. It's like a punch in the dang on thirst. So stock up on all your end of summer parties, your back to school celebrations, your beginning of fall parties, or just watching the game. RC is the move for whatever you are doing, because it's RC Cola, y'all, the true taste of Chicago.
That's where he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
I miss that sound so much. Joining us on that Go Talk hotline live from the United Center, it's our guy, our insider, Will the Go Gottlieb. Follow him for all of his Bulls reporting and updates. Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Goat, same opponent. Bulls had a different starting lineup. Cavs the same. Similar start to the game. Bulls come out on top of a tight one yet again. What was your first and biggest reaction to this one?
You know, it's hard to really come up with like too many big takeaways. I feel like we saw a little bit more of the starting group with, you know, just playing into the third quarter with this game. But in a game where it's like Vooch is out resting, Kobe's out hurt, you know, Huerter was out. He was somebody that is going to be in competition for that starting spot. You know, it's just hard to know like really what it is that you're looking at. But it is always good to just see more reps. And I think that's kind of what we saw here is just like different combinations, different opportunities. I was asking Billy about it pregame, and that was kind of the answer he gave me. It was like, it's just hard to really know when you have like maybe some of our bench guys going against some other bench guys. Maybe you know, they pull their starters and our starters are going against their bench. And so you don't necessarily have like a real feel for it. And that's why you always just look at why things are happening or what is actually happening so you can make an evaluation that way. And I thought the big interesting piece was like Trey and Giddey together. That was something that we haven't seen a ton of. But Billy kind of talked about it like this is a team where they cannot afford to get bogged down in the half court. They just don't have the like isolation scoring to be able to compensate for that. And so instead, they're going to have two ball handlers out there. You know, and I think most of the time that's going to be Kobe and Giddey together or Trey and Io or Trey and Kobe or some combination. But they just want to have guys where if somebody's picking up Giddey full court, they can kick it over to Trey and he'll get the ball up ahead and get them into their set or get downhill before the rest of the defense can react. And so I think that's kind of an interesting wrinkle of something that I think the Bulls are probably going to go to a lot this year. And it's not really something that we necessarily saw a ton of last year. I mean, you could call Kobe a point guard next Giddey. I think he's more of a combo, but like two table setting, like pure point guards, that was new for me.
Was new.
Go Ayo Dosunmu has just been really awesome these past two games. It feels like, you know, this game felt very similar, you know, to last game with how it started. And the one constant was when Ayo Dosunmu came in the game, things kind of changed. Is this something that you're thinking will continue once we get to the regular season, as far as Dosunmu being that first guy off the bench, whether it's at the 1, the 2, or the 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what he does, right? Like, he just, you bring in 2 more guys and Io still somehow emerges because he's just that productive. And that was my takeaway after last game, too, when he shot like 4 or 5. This game didn't shoot as efficiently, had a couple of turnovers that he said that he wished he could take back. But 6 of 14, 1 of 4 on threes, 3 of 3 at the line, and 16 points. I mean, he just finds a way to produce. And I think what is great about Io is that he can do it in so many different ways where, as I just mentioned, if you're trying to play 2 point guards out there together, 2 ball handlers that can get the ball up quickly, he can do that. If you want to play with 3 guards and one of them needs to be more of an off-ball role, attacking closeouts, shooting spot up threes, defending at the point of attack, switching, he can do that too. And I think that his versatility is just so important for this team because they don't have a lot of other guys that can do that. So, we talked to Io post game. I talked to him, one-on-one the other day after practice, and it's just like he's in such a good headspace about it. And I think what is standing out to Billy, which I thought was a really good point, was after the game he was saying like he's so much more like mature in the way that he reads the game now. And like he was saying a couple of years ago, maybe he drives, he jumps up in the air and he like throws the ball over the stanchion, or it's like going into the backcourt and the other team's on their way in transition because like the reads weren't there. And now he's being much more methodical about like pulling the ball back out, the Nash dribble, like getting into the paint and pulling it back out, or just like making the right drop off pass. And obviously Trey and Giddey, I mean, Giddey had an incredible like pocket sort of like drop off pass to Lachlan at the end of the game, or in the third quarter. And that was really nice. But there's a lot of guys that he can emulate in that way. But I think Io's just gotten to a point where he's developed some of those same skills. I mean, year 5 now, he's seen a lot of those reads before. He's been in that situation a lot, and I think he continues to get better there. So that was something that Billy said that really stood out to him as well.
Along the lines of what Billy took away from tonight's game, I'm curious if he mentioned anything about the 9 first quarter turnovers Tuesday turning into 7 first quarter turnovers tonight. He's been harping on winning that possession battle and doing a better job in that department this year compared to last season. Was that his biggest, we won, but commentary tonight, or was it something else?
I think the turnovers and the fouls were the 2 big ones. And I actually mentioned after the game, he was like, I know we fouled too much, but like I kind of liked it because it's been a bloodbath here. Like they've been so physical in practice that they're trying to like unleash that onto the Cavs a little bit, and at least it wasn't like beating each other up anymore. So I think those are 2 big ones, right? Is like the turnovers and the fouls. Those are ways that you can help close that gap on the possession battle. And I think there's all these other small things too, where like he was asked, I think it was by our buddy Drew Stevens. Billy was asked why he like kind of not got into it, but just like, told Coach Modest up pretty, thoroughly on the sidelines after a play. And he was saying like, Modest just jumped 3 times or 2 times trying to contest a shot in the corner. I believe it was DeAndre Hunter. And, he was like, look, I mean, that puts us in a situation where it's like, you're either fouling him on the jump shot and he's at the free throw line, or you're jumping and he's blowing by you and he's at the rim and now you got to pull over, and now they're either finishing at the rim, getting fouled there, or spraying it out for 3. And it's like those kind of small things that helps the rim protection, right? Like if you're not allowing the blow by, if you're not allowing the penetration in the first place, then you maybe don't have that shot at the rim. And so I think there's like these small things that happen throughout the course of a possession that, me or you guys maybe, or, other people who are just like more sort of commoners when it comes to watching basketball are not going to pick up on that stuff. Billy's obviously all over it. And I think those small things maybe lead to some of the turnovers, whether when it's on offense, but lead to some of the, fouls or giving up possessions. And so I think it's just a lot of that. And when they're playing as fast as they are, when they're trying to like play as physically as they are, I think it can be hard to like process and make those right decisions in real time. But that's what they got to do. I mean, that's going to be their recipe, right? Is like they are going to be playing fast, so they got to figure out how to play fast. They can't just like play fast and foul and not take care of the ball and all that stuff.
There was, since Vooch sat out, as Matt said, rest old. We saw Zach Collins and we saw a lot more of Jalen Smith. Can you talk about that battle that was happening between those guys? Because I thought both of them, played well in the roles that they were asked to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think Collins is really steady. Like he hit that corner 3 at the buzzer at the second quarter, I think. But just like was really physical. I think he's like a really good short roll playmaker. He's a good rebounder. He had 8 of them in 23 minutes. Shot efficiently. I don't think he's like as elite of a rim protector as maybe the numbers from last year would indicate, but I think he's really solid there. And I think there we go. We're back, baby. The lights are off.
Baby, we're back.
Late night go in the media room.
Baby. Let's go.
Back. But yeah, I think like Collins to me is like more steady, and he can have like a lot of foul issues as well, where like he kind of takes himself out of a game. But to me, he like kind of resembles more of a starter than Jalen Smith, who I think is like sort of the equivalent of like a microwave scorer type, but as a big man, where he can like come in, shoot threes, run up and down. He blocked the shot. He had 4 assists today, so I think he was like passing it really well out of the short roll, like good decision making from him. Again, wasn't hitting his shots, but like I think he still has a reputation enough as a shooter that teams are going to close out to him and come away from the basket when he's out there. And so I think they just kind of give you different things. And, theoretically they could maybe play a little bit together when Vooch is there, but I don't think Billy's really trying to go there. I think he's trying to go with 4 guards and 1 big as opposed to 2 big and whatever else combination. But I think they just kind of give you a different look. But to me, it certainly seems like Collins, who started today in place of Vooch and who played 23 minutes compared to Smith's 18, is kind of, locked into that backup center role. And Smith's going to have to find a way to either, come in short bursts. Billy also said after the game, like the way we're trying to play 10, 12-minute stints is like not physically possible. Mm-hmm. So I think like maybe there is room for more guys to play, but they just like have, 30-second, or a minute and a half long stints where they just like come in, go all out, and then come back out.
Goat, Isaac Okoro got his second start of the preseason. The only Bull starter to not finish in double figures, a rough night efficiency-wise. Also committed 5 fouls. Speaking of Io, liking the level of physical play out there tonight. Mm-hmm. Curious what you've seen from Okoro through these 2 games, because before you hopped on with us, Dave and I were talking about, hey man, Trey Jones looked so good. We've been talking most of the back half of the summer about Okoro versus Huerter in that starting 5, but Billy loves him some guards, and maybe it's going to take some time for Okoro to really find that right role for himself.
Yeah, and I think, speaking of the guards, like Billy kind of mentioned that I think there's going to be times where they like mix up the starting rotation. And maybe it's Okoro some nights, but maybe it's Huerter, maybe it's Trey, maybe it's Io. I think all 4 of those guys really could be in the mix at some point or another based on the, matchup and what that game is calling for. So I think they're all going to play a big role in this team, whether it's off the bench or in the starting rotation. It certainly seems like Okoro's pretty locked in there. Obviously, Huerter was out tonight and Kobe's been out, so it's really hard to say for sure. But he's been, him and Giddey and Mattis are the only 3 guys that have started every game so far, all 2 of them. But I think Okoro's just like, I appreciate his willingness to shoot. He has not shot very efficiently yet in the preseason, but like got up 4 threes today, 11 total shots. He's making plays. He's physical. He's like at the point of attack. He's got on the floor. He had a couple of steals. And those really help get into transition so you're not in that half court scenario. I also think he's like a very smart cutter, which is maybe an underrated element of his game. Like he does seem to find the baseline and get around the rim a good amount. And I think he's just a high IQ player. So I think he kind of is one of those guys that will find a way. But I mean, when you're just playing all these guys that are suspect shooters, it could be good at times because like people are moving without the ball, they're defending, they're getting steals, they're getting runouts, or you could get bogged down a little bit and you've got, a handful of guys out there that are really not spacing the floor and there's no one in there that can really create their own shot. And that's when it starts to really get ugly. So the Bulls just have to avoid that. And I think their defense is really like, in some ways, their defense is going to inform their offense more than vice versa, because it will allow them to avoid getting into those half court situations.
Mm-hmm. Go, just to let you know, Cubs are up 7-0.
7-0.
7.
Yeah,
yes.
Baby. Tacking on more.
They were just up 3. What just happened?
Home runs, baby. Home runs. Then Carson
Crazy.
Kelly hit a 2-run homer to make it 7-0, and I can't remember who hit the one to make it 5-0.
Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker. Thank you very much.
One more thing. I got to shout out security guard Bob, who said, "Who's the guy on the right on your set?" And I said, "Matt." And he said, "Yeah, that guy's crazy angry, but he really makes me laugh." So shout out to you, Matt.
Wait, I'm on the left on our set.
Doesn't matter.
From the viewer's perspective, I mean, I'm stage right, but
no, you're right. He said left. That was my.
If he said the angry one, and it definitely wasn't David.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely you, because I'm the one on the other side and Dave's in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Well, shout out to security guard Bob.
He was talking to me, so he couldn't have been that confused about who I was on the show.
That guy's really angry, but he's right about a lot.
Yeah.
Bingo!
Yeah.
Definition of my life as a Bulls fan.
There was a hat throw
tonight. He said he knows what he's talking about.
Go real quick before we let you go. Any other details of intel from Billy, pregame or postgame, on Kobe White, Kevin Huerter, and Julian Phillips, all who sat tonight with various minor injuries?
Yeah, Vooch was out with rest. Obviously, I think they're just being really cautious. He played a ton in the summer with the Montenegro team, and so they're just kind of bringing him along slowly. Huerter and Phillips, Huerter groin, Phillips knee, both Billy said minor. They're going to be like day to day. He does not anticipate it being a big deal, but they were held out tonight. And the good news about Kobe was that Billy said that he was optimistic that he would play in the final preseason game. So probably not going to be much. He said they're going to be very careful ramping him up because they really don't want it to be a situation where they ramp him up and it flares up and then they got to shut him down. And then, the whole process starts over again. But I think they've already been like pretty, cautious about him to the point where like he probably, if this was the season, might be playing. That's just my speculation. But I do think that, it's not looking like he's going to miss much, if any, regular season time.
Great news. And speaking of shutting it down, we'll let you go so you can get out of there before they turn the lights off on you again.
Spooky season.
We appreciate you, buddy. Bulls Nation, read our guys' stuff on CHGO.com. Become a diehard so you can read all of it, the very best of it. And follow him, Will_Gottlieb.
That's the man.
Woo. With that, let's knock out our second ad break. We'll come back on the other side. Liam in the chat, Dave, just said, Giddey had a nice, cute little game. I like what I see. Let's put a pin in that. Because I think also he had a nice, cute little game. Hit the like. Here's some ads.
Oh, man.
Today's show brought to you by Ray! Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. This is your chance to score a great deal at the Drive into Fall event. Head to Ray CDJR and Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Right now, you can get 0% financing for 72 months available on new models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With their friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray, CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And with that raised price promise, you can shop confidently, knowing that the price you see is the price you pay. If anything, Ray and his team will find even more savings for you when you head to the dealership. Go check out our partner today to shop one of Chicago's largest inventories to find the right new vehicle for you. And don't miss out on that Drive into Fall event for huge savings on new models. For more info, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963.
I like that. What time is it? Oh, I love it very much. Priority seating. It's a beautiful thing. And priority is awesome when you know everything that you're going to pay. And that's what Game Time is going to give y'all. All fees are included on the tickets. So you know up front exactly what you're going to pay when you get to those checkouts, y'all. And you know they got those zone deals. You know they got those seat views. You know they got that lowest price guarantee. You know they got the Game Time ticket coverage, y'all, which is the most flexible customer service policy.
In the industry?
In the ticketing industry. That's right. That's where it's at. That's what you're going to get with Game Time. So when you need your NFL tickets and you need to get it together, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Game Time. So take that guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. You got to use CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
Download Game Time today. Tap, ticket, go, download Game Time app today. Because, Steven, what time is it?
Game Time. Who?
He yelled it.
We roll along CHGO Bulls postgame late on Thursday night, breaking down another Bulls preseason win over the Cavs. Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the chat late on a weeknight. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe as we climb to 90,000.
Woo!
Rye, what's up, buddy? WTF is that thing on the desk? You must be new here. If you're referring to Dave's child.
Yes, man. This is the AC unit, sir. Then right here is where I, take that off right there. You pour your water and your ice right up in there. Close that right up in there. And then you press your buttons. And then joy comes right on out, baby.
It's big man summer, is it not?
Oh, big man summer.
The temps have dropped a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Like low 70s, maybe even dipping in the 60s.
But still a big man.
When we walk out there tonight after postgame, it's going to be down in the 50s.
I can't wait.
hoodie and shorts weather.
Oh,
the best.
It felt so good to put this on today.
That's right.
But still hot all the time. So, yes, this is here. Shout out to you, Ryan.
Speaking of things that are here, Josh Giddey.
He's here, baby.
He's here.
Yeah.
4 years,
Four of them
$100
things.
million. Liam, right before the break, said that thought Giddey had a cute little game tonight. Is that what he called it?
Yeah. These are a cute little game. Yeah. Shout out to Liam, man.
Shout out to Liam. So I agree. But right after that, Liam said, I like what I see. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, elephant in the room. Those of you who have been tuning into this program for a while, I think know how I feel about Josh Giddey being a part of this team's long-term plans and actually trying to win something more than their ticket to the play-in tournament. And look, to me as a basketball fan, so much of it is about the eye test, Dave.
Okay.
I have been watching NBA basketball since I was yay high.
Yeah.
And look, okay, preface it with, again, just like Tuesday night, tonight, no Kobe White.
Yes.
Kobe White's presence as somebody who draws defensive attention to him.
Correct.
As an on-ball creator, as a lethal scorer from anywhere on the floor, makes a difference to not have him out there. And that includes making a difference of what Josh Giddey can and cannot do with the other four guys around him, none of whom are Kobe White.
Yes.
Prefaced.
That's a fact.
All of last season, Tuesday night, and again tonight, I have always felt the same about Josh Giddey. I see him make a pass. I'm like, wow, nice pass. 15 seconds later, maybe 5 seconds later, I see him do something, and I say to myself, what the actual hell was that? Because it was nothing that belongs on an NBA basketball court.
Okay.
He was credited with 3 turnovers tonight.
Yeah.
I counted closer to 9. I'm dead serious. And this is not just like, oh, you're a Giddey hater. You're inflating the bad and not giving credit to the good. Look at the box score. I flirted with a triple-double. He made so many just like bone-crushingly stupid plays when the Bulls were trying to get things going in the half court. He made dumb, ill-advised, attempted long or difficult cross-court passes in transition. And I'm not saying I didn't see good from Giddey too, because I did. It's trying to talk myself or other Bulls fans trying to talk me into being so in on a guy who still struggles mightily to create anything for himself off the dribble.
Okay.
Dribbling into traffic, Cavs defense traffic, with nowhere to go and no plan of what to do once he gets into that traffic. Sometimes he finds some crazy tiny needle and threads a cross-court pass to, an open 3 on the weak side. Great. Other times, and many times in the first half of tonight's action, I saw him do things that just made me slap my head and throw my hat. I can't get past that being the eye test anytime I watch Josh Giddey play basketball. And I'm not saying that can't improve.
Sure.
Still a very young player. That can get better.
Yeah.
But until he takes that dumb stuff out of his game, especially when his head coach is putting the ball in his hands and preaching to everyone, limit the turnovers, win the possession battle. And I see so many of the Bulls' possessions out of the gate tonight, digging themselves another hole, go wayward because Josh Giddey tried to do that thing?
Yeah.
And why the hell would you try that thing? That thing didn't work. All right, now I'm off my soapbox. I mean, like, what did you see from Josh tonight? Because that's what I saw. More of Josh Giddey being Josh Giddey.
I mean, it wasn't great to undersell it for you. It wasn't great, especially in that first quarter. It felt like when he hit that miracle buzzer beater again, it felt like it kind of flipped a switch in him a little bit, and he played better. He definitely played better after that. But he can't keep getting off to these kind of starts. Because, I'm just thinking about when the 82 starts. And teams, this is what I talked about when they signed him and how he's the engine, how he is now on the whiteboard, and teams are going to really be defending him because there's a blueprint out there now, and Miami is the team that gave everybody kind of the blueprint on Josh Giddey. So what you saw was teams not letting him get comfortable. And by teams, I mean Cleveland in these 2 games. They didn't let him get comfortable. When he was trying to bring the ball up the floor, they were meeting him. Right when he crossed half court, or even right before he crossed half court, they were meeting him. And anytime he tried to, run a pick or anything like that, they played up on him. They did not allow him to go around that pick, and he had to make a pass or a play out of that. they made him say, dribble, use your ball handling, and use your size to score. Because we're not just going to give you, a clear runway to do your thing. And he struggled with that. He couldn't dribble with that with a lot of guys. And he would have to dribble, and they were still there. And here comes the pass. And that pass would lead to a turnover. And then they were going the other way. And again, it wasn't just length and size. It was Donovan Mitchell out there. He had a breakaway on a really awesome steal. So he struggles with that. And that is not good, and it cannot be the case. And it can't be something that is continuing to happen as we go further, even in this preseason, because all I'm thinking about is the regular season, man. Teams aren't going to stop until you show them that you can handle that, or you show them that you have a counter to that. Now, his counter could be, hey, Kobe White, you got it. I'm going to go over here and get these rebounds. You know what I'm saying? That could be your counter, but he's not going to be on the floor all the time. Anything has the NBA. Kobe could be in foul trouble, whatever. Something can happen, and it's going to be on you. So it can't be miracle floaters, you know what I'm saying? And fairy dust 3-point shots at the end of halves. Yeah. That is going to do it for you. There has to be something established where he's like, oh, no, they can't stop this. This is going to be a problem. The one thing he has is his size. Yeah. And he can use that on smaller guards to attack them. But sometimes those smaller guards, again, Donovan Mitchell, who is not a great defender, was still giving him fits. Because when you're in somebody's jersey like that and they know you can't dribble, well, they can take that away from you very quickly. So it was alarming to me. And I'm not going to put sugar on that. It was definitely alarming to me to see my point guard like that, because I'm looking at Tre Jones and how he's handling the basketball and his point guardsmanship. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to look right there. Yeah. And you see how you can run a play now because they can't body up on him because he has, ball handling. And I'm not saying Yuki is better. I'm just talking about even in Yuki's ball handling, they weren't able to body up on him and use the fact that he's 5'8" against him because he can dribble. He was out there like, nope, you can't do nothing with this. You're going to get cooked. Josh Giddey has got to find a way, you know what I'm saying, not just to get the stat sheet stuff, because he's going to get that. Like, again, if you're looking at the stat sheet, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists is pretty awesome. But going 5 for 13 is not. And that's going to be an issue for your squad. Being a -4 is not, especially from your point guard. That is going to be an issue. 3 turnovers, I mean, with this, I don't like it. I just don't like that many turnovers from your point guard. He got 6 assists. I get that, but I don't like 3 turnovers with that.
JMB Travels in the chat just said 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Technically, if you believe the box score, sure. But I watched this game with my eyeballs, and Josh Giddey had more than 3 turnovers.
Bro, he really had more than 3.
He had more than 3 turnovers.
I thought he had 5. When Steven asked us, like, how many turnovers do you think he had? And I was like, he got like 5, right? And it was like 3. I was a little surprised. I thought he had more than that.
Josh Giddey's agent was running the box score tonight, I guess. And people in the chat bringing up other things. Cosmic Sand saying, I think Giddey was being more risky due to it being a preseason game. Okay, maybe, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you can use all of that as an excuse. But all I'm saying is, when we saw him out there on the floor getting more minutes, the person who I thought looked better as a point guard was Tre Jones. And I don't want it to look like that for the guy that's running my team, whether it's preseason or not.
So Comic Sand said that. Arja Charger saying Giddey probably still got jet lag. He's only been in the country a week. LOL. That is true. He had some visa issues. Was a late arrival. And then also tweaked his ankle early in training camp. And so a lot of different excuses or reasons for Josh Giddey had to look great in these first 2 games. Here's this, here's that. He arrived late. He's got a minor ankle tweak that he's playing through. Maybe he's being a little more brazen with his passing attempts because it's preseason. Somebody else, I think it was also JB Travels, pointing out, you guys realize they played the team with the best record in the East twice now. Look at the opponent. There's another issue. My thesis from the beginning was the eye test is the same. Ankle, late arriving because of a visa, minor ankle tweak, tough opponent tonight. It's the same guy that I watched all of last season. All 82. I don't think he played 82, but all 70 whatever. It's the same guy that can't beat guys off the dribble with speed, that can't beat guys off the dribble with his ball handling, can't create his own shot, and isn't a very good / confident shooter. He is great at setting the table for his teammates.
He is.
But look who his teammates are, especially right now without Kobe. So if that's your guy, it makes that guy being the engine of your offense really freaking challenging as a team. And that is not all on that individual player.
No, not at all.
And the point about like, well, yeah, look at this tough opponent the Bulls played tonight. Cool. You mean the team that's in their division that they play 4 times a year? That theoretically they might have to get past, or a team as good as that. To what are we all here doing as sports fans? What's the point? Contending for playoff victories? Dare I say championships?
Dare.
Oh, well, yeah, the Bulls and his players struggled tonight, but look who they were playing against. They were playing against a good team. Cool. We aren't. And I think he being a big part of this team moving forward will continue to be a big reason why.
And I see thank y'all for your comments also in the chat. The only thing I don't like in the chat with the comments is I saw could you go back, Steven, a little bit? My man Nipper right there. What a surprise. Have a show of Giddey hate. And then someone else calling him he's y'all new whipping boy. Only reason I have an issue with that, you can say what you want, is that it's dismissive for the facts that we are giving you. And you don't have to like it. That's cool. But don't be dismissive of a fact. Like when he balls out, like I tell all the time, like Giddey balled out. And please don't make it seem like I'm not out here rooting for this dude to be really good. Because I want this dude to be really freaking good. I want this to work, man. All right? Because he is the head of the team. He is the engine. I don't want my engine to stutter, sputter and not work. I want it to be right. And you're right. And everything that you all said about the ankle, about preseason, about all that stuff, you're right. It's brand new. But at the same time, when I can give praise to a guy like Trey Jones and not hear anyone say, hey, it's just preseason. And when I can give that same praise to Zach Collins and not hear anybody say, hey, it's just preseason. When I can say that same stuff about Yuki, when I can say it about Dalen Terry, when I can say it about Noah Essengay, and nobody questions it about it being preseason, you can't use this same kind of logic against that. It doesn't work that way. It's not hate. It is just us telling the truth of what we are seeing and observing. And that's the only thing I don't like is when you calling it hate, man. Now, if you don't like what's saying, like, please tell us in the chat, you know what I mean, what it is, because Alberto gets it, like, which is being critical. It doesn't mean we hate. It's just being critical of the situation,
Depends
man.
who you ask, Dave.
I'm being very fair. Y'all, I
have a personal vendetta against Josh Giddey, apparently.
Right.
Because I'm not in love with his game.
I am very fair when I'm critiquing this team. When it's wrong, I will tell you that. When it's right, I will tell you that. My God, do I love praising when it's right. I love it. It's my jam, dude. You hit a Bulls win, that happens. It's a belt right here. We're cool tonight that I want to give out to people during the regular season when they do cool stuff.
Bulls win!
You know what I'm saying?
That's right, Steven.
I want that all the time. But damn, if it ain't right, we ain't going to sit here and tell y'all it's sunshine and rainbows. You wouldn't respect it. You can get that somewhere else. You ain't going to get it here. We're going to be honest with you about what we're seeing out here on this screen, man. And it wasn't good. Can y'all agree with that? Did you think it was good? Because I didn't think it. Matt didn't think it was good. It can be better next game.
Sure.
And he's going to get plenty of opportunity to improve it and to grow it, man. And again, I want to see it with Kobe White because I feel like that's a huge part of it for why Giddey looking like he struggles. But not being able to create your own shot is still a thing for him, man. Those turnovers and lazy passes were still a thing for him, man. So those things have to be shored up. And then hopefully we can continue moving forward.
Bulls all day in the chat saying, yeah, Giddey's a punching bag for this era of Bulls. No matter what he does, it won't matter. I would say he's a punching bag for some.
Yeah, bro.
For others, he's an anointed god who hasn't done anything. There is a significant portion of this fan base who defends Josh Giddey like they're defending their firstborn child from a tiger. Like, my God. Both sides exist, okay? And also, J&B Travel's asking, did Peck give Zach LaVine this much when he made bad plays?
Oh, my God.
Yeah?
Bruh, there's a whole video out right now of me yelling about what Zach was doing, dog. It's still out.
Crunch time Zach?
Yes.
Crunch time Zach?
Dribbling off his foot, Zach?
Late game turnovers?
Are you kidding?
We were yelling about it for years.
For years, dog. For years we were yelling about this.
Often, or not often, but sometimes gave Zach LaVine the due respect of two-time All-Star.
Yeah. He earned that.
25 points per game scorer.
Earned. And when he got his money, we were like, yep, get that man his money.
25, 5, 5, 50, 40, 90.
Yeah.
Two-time All-Star earned.
Yeah.
So some nights, and even with that resume, even with having earned that respect, not just from Bulls fans, his teammates, his coaches, or the league at large, we still would rake him over the coals when the Bulls lost games where he performed poorly, especially down the stretch of a tight game, which happened all the time.
It was a thing, man. It was a thing. I want to move on. Cosmic saying, what did you guys think of Okoro's game? And because you talked about it with Goat,
right?
About his game, I thought it was okay. I don't think he set the world on fire. I like this. Like I said, I think those stats that we saw from him are what we're going to see from him going forward. The 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Maybe he has a game where his 3-point, get going. I'm more so looking at it as far as defense is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking at for Isaac Okoro. I liked his aggression out there on defense. I like how he was talking, even though his friends, and stuff like that, he still was chirping it up, you know what I'm saying, with those guys. And I found that, yes, I see a lot of goons of the night in your future, young man. So I think he's played better, but he's still got a ways to go too. Because again, he can't create his own shot. And I saw it several times on offense where Giddey was being stopped after they would stop his dribble, and he's passing to Isaac Okoro with 5 on the clock. And Okoro's like, I don't know what you want me to do with this. And actually, that's how Giddey ended up hitting that buzzer beater, was because Okoro had the ball. You take it. I'm not shooting this, man. Is that Collins? Like, well, you take it. I'm not doing this again. Like, all right, Craggy. And it was cash money. So, yeah, man, I don't think he's going to turn into a shot creator or anything like that. But defensively and what he brings as far as that fire is concerned, and I want to see his spot-up shooting also as well, because we haven't seen a lot of that from him either. But he's still a work in progress. It wasn't setting the world on fire or anything like that, but it's more preseason to go, and he'll have more time to prove.
Yeah, I mean, Okoro 3 of 11 tonight and missed all 4 of the 3-point attempts he took. Mm-hmm. Chipped in other areas and did come up with a couple of steals, but Billy Donovan and a lot of Isaac's new teammates have said throughout their training camp interviews, practice interviews, and all that stuff, media day, despite what AK said in Summer League that everybody took notice of, because it was an unscheduled AK talking to the public, which happens but 2, maybe 3 times a year. And he had that line about Okoro and the trade for Lonzo and establishing defensive identity. And then all of the talk for the last month has been, not one player is going to do that. Yeah. It has to be a team effort. It has to be a team thing. And between what I've seen from him struggling offensively so far through, again, just 2 preseason games, we're prefacing all of this with that reality.
Sure.
And looking at what I've seen from the Bulls team defense as a whole, parentheses, yikes. That's going to be struggle bus out of the gate.
It's going to be a problem.
I am curious how much Billy will put on Okoro, not blame or responsibility of you need to take the charge of making us a better defensive team. Because Isaac Okoro's got plenty of players, plenty of teammates who are not very good on the defensive end right now. He can't fix that for them.
No.
He can try to uplift them. Billy's been bragging about people taking charges in training camp practices. Like that's where they are as a team defense right now. They can't all be on Okoro. But when we've been talking about Okoro versus Huerter, maybe Trey Jones and Io, as Scott was saying, are also thrown into that mix of who Billy is starting in game 1 of 82 in starting in any given night.
Right.
The hope that Okoro could have some part of his offensive game be unlocked here that was not available to him with more ball-dominant, all-star caliber scorers in Cleveland. It's what your buddy Bob Schmidt of the Fear the Throw Pod was talking to you about earlier this week. Yeah. Maybe that version of Okoro could really thrive offensively here. I haven't seen it through 2 games. Yeah. I'm not saying I have no faith that we'll see it.
Right.
Just like I've never said I have no faith that Josh Giddey can get better than what I saw him do tonight. But
just calling what we're seeing.
The defense, I think, will be good for Okoro.
Yeah, I agree.
Will it lift the whole team's defense?
Yeah.
I'm struggling to see how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
and here's the other
can he be efficient and probably still, like Cleveland, he's not leading the team in field goal attempts any given night.
No, oh my gosh.
Just like, can you knock down your open looks?
Yeah, correct.
Can you put the ball on the floor confidently occasionally, make the right reads, shoot or pass? Through 2 preseason games, my initial reaction for Okoro is, Not great.
Yeah, any French Bull fan agrees with you. After 2 games, I have yet to see the physicality, taking charges, fighting through screens, etc., or it's too few and far between. Yeah, don't disagree with that. And what that brings up for me is something interesting because, again, there's still a battle, in my opinion, for this 3 spot. There's still a battle. I think it's Velvet, but Velvet sat out tonight. And he struggled in that first game for sure. He struggled. But he'll get he'll get opportunity to give his thing. But with Okoro looking like that and not really just grabbing the reins, you start to look at the man Lee. You're starting to look at Lee Patrick.
Shimon Lee.
All right. 2 games.
For those of you who've been tuning in tonight and have missed the last few.
Yes.
That's Patrick Williams.
That's Patrick Williams.
Whose name legally is now Lee Patrick.
Yes, correct. Dr. Jekyll, Patrick Williams. Mr. Hyde, Lee Patrick. But, dude, like, Patrick played well again. I thought he played pretty good tonight. Like, I noticed him on the floor, like, in these 2 games. He's crashing the boards. I saw him jump, and I haven't seen him jump that high in I don't know how long, trying to block a shot and deter it. And I was like, who is this person?
I saw him get an offensive rebound and putback.
Yeah.
That actually worked.
It worked. 8 points, 3 boards, an assist, a steal, 3-8 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 turnovers. But he was a plus. Of course.
That comes with the package.
Come on.
That's a package deal.
What I'm saying.
I don't care if it's Patrick Williams or Lee Patrick.
You feel what I'm saying?
You can shake the name. You can take the Williams out of the turnover. You can't take the turnover out of the Williams.
For real, bro. Like, dude, but he was a +8, out there on the floor. And you felt it. It wasn't just looking at the stat sheet. It was just like, no, I felt Patrick Williams out there on the floor tonight. Lee was doing his thing. And I was happy for that. The 3 he hit, I thought was awesome because he walked into it. Last time I seen Patrick walk into a 3, bro. Like, he walked into that 3-point shot. That was awesome. So, yeah, I thought he played well. And I'm not saying he's gonna, be now leading candidate or even considered for starting. I'm just saying it's good to see him put some kind of pressure, on that. He might not even want to start. He might be comfortable coming. I don't know. But it's just good to see him in a place where I'm like, that's a serviceable basketball player. Even after 2 preseason games, it still looked like a whole different kind of person, which is why I'm calling him Lee Patrick. Congratulations to him, man. He looked better.
Alberto Hernandez saying Pat's always also boxing out. Looked physical out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why, as Flipside pointed out, Yuki out-rebounded him.
Yeah, true. 5 boards for Yuki. 5 of them things.
So that's why Pat never gets any rebounds.
That's right. Yuki got to get
He's doing all the boxing out.
That's right.
He's doing all the work.
Yeah.
He's the Bulls' Steven Adams.
That's it.
I'm going to box out the entire opposing team by myself.
That's right.
So one of my other 4 teammates can go pick that ball and start us out the other way.
And one of those teammates is going to be 5'8". Yeah. And he's going to get that basketball, baby.
That's right.
Shout out to him, baby.
Shout out also to Brian Sinat in the comments.
Okay.
Who said, "Fuck me. It's a practice game, FFS. Drama queen." Thanks for joining us, Brian. Here's just a little tip / piece of information. We talk about the Bulls for 5+ hours a week.
Yeah.
From July, August, September.
Yeah.
Every month, every week of the year.
Yeah.
We could be talking about off-season rankings from clutch points with the same amount of fervor as we are.
Yeah.
Do you see where do you use their game? As a practice game, preseason game? Game. Twice in the last 3 nights, we've, as insane Bulls fans, insatiable Bulls fans, got a chance to watch the Bulls play basketball.
Yeah.
So, we're a little excited.
Yeah, a little excited. And not only did I watch the game, we're going to go home and watch another preseason game of this same game. So, it's that kind of insanity that dwells within us. Thank you for being here, though. And thanks for what you had to say, man. We appreciate you. Shout out to Javon Carter, Mr. Stay Ready, who I'll call him, man. I mean, that dude just look like he's always ready to play.
Going up.
I mean, dude, just to have that on your bench and not play, I'm like, it's an asset. Like, he just looks like an asset to me where I'm like, hey, man, if you're not going to play him, what do you want to do? What do you want to do is all I'm saying. What do you want to do? But Steven, just shout out to him for always being ready.
All right, give me on the scale of 1 to 10 hot take meter here. I say the Bulls do not win this game without Javon Carter in the 4th quarter. Where's that at on the 1 to 10 scale? 10 being like that's a stupid hot take.
Man,
it's not a stupid hot take because Javon Carter was making plays in the fourth quarter.
He was out there making them plays.
Technically, the Bulls won by 7, but that's just because the refs were like, hey, we're not done getting attention yet.
Yeah.
When the clocks hit 0, and they were like, no, there's some fouls, and the Bulls added another extra 3 or 5 points.
Yeah.
But that was a 1 or 2 possession game down the stretch. Javon Carter made big plays.
He did.
In the fourth quarter.
Made some huge plays. Also, man, speaking of sickos, I see a Katie.
No. In the chat?
I see Katie,
get out of here.
Speaking of sickos.
Do something better with your life now.
No. Wait, Katie, I have some clips you could cut after this. This is perfect.
Just when she thought she was out.
Follow back in. Email.
Katie and I were just texting back and forth, earlier today or yesterday? So talking about something else and then just joking. Then she was like, but how else is everything going? Adjusting okay? And I just responded, no, LOL. It's been a week here at CHGO trying to move forward with the absence of our dearly departed Katie Duffy, Queen of Controls. We're figuring it out. Today / tonight especially was a little hectic because we had
so many
Hawks
games.
playing,
awesome.
Bulls playing, Cubs playoffs,
Not
live
Steven,
watch along,
awesome.
Hawks post game, Bulls. It was a lot going on. Steven hasn't slept since February.
This is hour 14 of my workday.
Workathon, baby.
Go.
Workathon.
You know who else works nonstop talking basketball?
Who's that?
It's our guy Tim Legler.
Yes, he does.
So he was talking to Mahrez of DMVR on the All Cities All NBA pod,
Shout out
which, by the way,
Mahrez.
add that to your rotation if it isn't already. Great stuff. They've been going around doing expectations and predictions for each team in the league. They made their way to our beloved Bulls.
Yes.
On their most recent episode. Spoiler alert, Bulls fans. Legs is high.
Oh.
On these here young, scrappy Bulls. Steven, take it away.
The Chicago Bulls over-under is at 32.5. What's the best case scenario for them?
I'm going to shoot for the stars on this one.
Oh, let's go.
I'm going to actually say top 6 make it into a first round. Not even even be above the play-in. That's probably too high. Most likely they're a play-in team. Yeah. And maybe they win their way out of the play-in and get into a best of 7. But I think potentially, depending on what happens with health of some of these other teams, they catch a break with health, maybe they end up in the top 6.
I love it. If you look at their history tells you they're going to make the play-in with a miraculous run at the end of the year and then lose. I think they've done it 3 years in a row. I don't know if I'm going to go as high as you. I'm going to say playoff team because they win in the play-in, not because they're out of it. I would be shocked if they were a top 6 seed, but I could see them being a 7 or 8 seed. I think they'll finish maybe just a hair lower than that, but you are right that they have some guys that are maturing a little bit. Kobe White obviously finished the year incredibly strong. Matas Bezelis, I think, could make a jump this year. He's a guy I'm interested in. So they have some guys that you hope for and maybe some flexibility, but I still see them as a 7-8 seed. But this time, two chances to win one game instead of you got to win both of them in the play-in as it has been the last couple of years.
Adam Mahrez and Tim Legler on the All NBA pod. Again, give that a subscribe and a view and a listen. They do great stuff talking about the NBA at large throughout the week.
I can never point out Mahrez,
Mahrez
getting it right, getting it polished up, man.
Mahrez is looking fresh.
Had
and
to do nice skincare routine.
Looking a little like legs in the coif department.
Hey, man.
Little copycat hairdo
there
going
are worse
on.
people you can copy off of than the main man.
But of course.
Yes.
What if I just showed up one day and like had hair that looked exactly like Goats? like wasn't wearing a hat.
Oh man,
just had he was getting coif compliments in the chat just tonight.
Sure.
Calling him from the East Coast, of course he was. It was looking good.
Absolutely. I have a story, but I can't get into it.
So there you have it.
I'll tell it off here.
Some optimistic looks.
From
Mahrez and Legs about our Bulls. Legs even saying and so they were prefacing it with best case scenario ceiling.
Right, correct.
Legs thinking it could be a 6. It could be that 5th or 6th seed in the East. And again, so y'all out there haven't seen it yet. We're dropping it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mini pod alert. We're dropping a mini pod tomorrow. The topic being, where do the Bulls stack up in these tiers of teams in the East?
Yeah.
We talk about how might not matter how much the Bulls do and what they're doing because they're probably going to do what the Bulls do, which is win somewhere between 38 and 40 games. It matters what the other teams in the East do more so.
Correct.
What do you make of those optimistic takes, though?
I mean, I like it. I like that national guys are having some optimism about the Chicago Bulls, more so than the pessimism that we're used to with that. I remember Tim Lecker last year saying, look, man, like, sell everything. Like, you should have 8 phones on your desk and sell everything. He was like, give them coupon codes, like all of it. Mm-hmm. And to go from that to saying, I think this team could make the playoffs. Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. So I'm happy that they would feel that way about this team. We talked about this last show, Matt, how it's never, in my opinion, a great thing where your future is being dictated by someone else. Mm-hmm. And that's what Legler was kind of stating right there. That's what Legler was kind of stating right there, is their hopes of being in a playoff is dictated on how these other teams, are going to be healthy, right? Or if they're going to, go after it or not, or if they, want to tank, because the draft is supposed to be, pretty stocked this season. Shout out to the Boozer twins. But that's never a good thing, in my opinion, when you have to wait on that. But it's also could be a good thing just for this team to go to the playoffs, because we're starving for a team to look like that. And we know what the Bulls want to do, and it's not tank, and it's not fall down lower and get into the draft. So if it happens that way, I will take it. I promise you I will take it, and I will be happy, and I will say, yes, I get to watch some playoff basketball for the Bulls. But as far as them and what they're saying, Matt, just the fact it's on a national level is good for to hear them start speaking positively about the Bulls.
It's interesting you bring that up on the same day that the NBA.com official league GM survey dropped.
Yes.
Where for the past several years, the Bulls have been also ran. Did they run? We don't know. They got no votes at anything.
No.
This year, one category in also receiving votes. Billy Donovan's assistant coach, Wes Unseld Jr., got a shout out in the others receiving votes.
He did.
That is the only time anyone who works for the Bulls was mentioned in the team's 30 GM survey.
There was a Bulls adjacent one there when they talked about trades that they thought were awesome, and Lonzo Ball was on that list.
Oh, the Cavs got the good side of it. Just like last year when people were like, yo, the Thunder, you got Alex Caruso? Way to go. Bulls adjacent.
We'll take it.
I think Legs is one of the best and brightest talking about the NBA these days. And bless his heart for giving the Bulls that ceiling of his best case scenario.
Appreciate that,
best case scenario, could the Bulls sneak into the 16 with, dare I say, 40 wins?
Dare.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If several other teams in the East who could be crap this year are crap this year.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It can happen.
But Mahrez, man, and I love Mahrez.
The man.
But he and some of our DMVR friends were with us this past spring.
Yes.
Eric was here.
Shout out
some
Big
of the other
E.
Denver guys.
My man.
We were here for a Bulls night.
Yeah.
Watch the Bulls get, and they were like, "Yo, man, this Bulls team is spicy."
I remember.
Look at these wins.
Man,
like Josh Giddey, Kobe White. And I was sitting there at the other couch just giving him the stink side eye all like, y'all, you've been watching the Denver Nuggets all season? Shut up. Because, you see a couple of Bulls W's and a couple of Bulls box scores, maybe. Oh, did you see the Josh Giddey shot on SportsCenter the other night? Great. I've been living in this muck for years. So I don't need Adam Mahrez's Bulls optimist takes, all right?
Shout out to my man Vince. Shout out to you too, sir. But yeah, I was there for that, and I watched that, and I immediately looked at Matt, and I knew what was about to happen, and I just laughed and said, "Go ahead, Matt. Do your thing." Unleashed,
and that one happened.
Yeah,
But hey, maybe this year and then what happened will be something different.
We'll see, man.
Or maybe the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to, Matthew. I would like to eat those 42 plus.
Would love it.
That would be amazing. I would love
Paul
that.
Just 50 and 32 prediction. Okay, Paul. Sunny side is great, but like everything in moderation. All right, put it down. We got to get out of here. Good news: CHGO Cubs watch along. Just wrapped up.
Yes,
because the Cubs just closed it out 6-0. The final. They beat the Brewers, forcing a deciding Game 5 for a ticket to the NLCS.
Fun stuff.
Who thought that this would still be happening?
I kind of did.
Not me. Pessimist sports fan
here. I kind of did. I don't know about Game 5.
I thought they were toast halfway through Game 1. Wow. But
I thought it'd go 5.
Watch along has ended. That means CHGO Cubs postgame.
Yeah.
Winners Lounge edition.
Woo!
Playoff Winners Lounge.
Woo!
Is there anything better? It's starting up in just a few minutes while our crew takes a stretch of the legs in between.
Yeah.
So tune into that if you are not ready to say goodnight yet, or if you're on the other side of the universe slacking off at work.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Tune in also.
Shout out to
wherever
you.
you are. Shout out to you. Shout out to the GOAT for joining us.
Yeah.
Follow him and read his stuff. AllCHGO.com. Will_Gottlieb. Big Dave Bow. BWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to Mares and Legs for bringing us home with that fun conversation tonight.
Yes.
Shout out to Steven.
Steven.
Been working here since the late 80s.
The dawn of time.
Today.
The dawn of time.
It was a long day here at CHGO. We made it through. Appreciate you, Steven. You're a freaking champion.
Yeah.
So are all of you out there in the chat and
What
in
up,
Bulls
Matthew
Nation.
John
Thanks
Stone?
for tuning in.
Peace to you.
Shout out to the 1T Matthew. Shout out to you, sir.
Ooh.
It's rare.
Ooh, it is a rare.
You don't see that too
You
often.
got that right.
All right. We are going to be off for the next couple of days while the Bulls are also. We'll be back with a post-game show live on Sunday after the Bulls take on another division rival, Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes, they do.
But as I said a minute ago, we are going to drop a mini pod for y'all tomorrow at our usual 4:30 showtime. So check out the YouTube channel and the podcast feed for that. Have a great night. Have a great Friday. Have a great Saturday.
Yes.
We'll talk to you live Sunday. See you, Rob. Be good.
Love y'all. Peace. Shout out to Steven.
We all silly like the mayor.